Chicken kosha is a popular dish of West Bengal where kosha means when the chicken is slow cooked along with the spices in its own juices and oil. Though it sounds fancy, it is a very straightforward recipe with the use of some basic spices which are always there in any Indian home kitchen pantry. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi, and today I will show you step by step how to make this delicious Bengali dish. First we will be blending some ingredients. I have taken garlic, ginger and 2 green chillies which are totally optional, and you can leave them out if you do not want your curry to be spicy. All go into the blender with 1/4 of a cup of water and blend it to a smooth paste. Now if you find the paste is not becoming smooth, then please add a few more tablespoons of water to your blender. And we are looking for a smooth paste like this. Coming to the chicken, please use bone-in chicken for this recipe. Try keeping the pieces bit large. Now from the paste that I made earlier, I will be using about 3 tablespoons of that ginger, garlic, green chili paste for marinating the chicken, and the rest I will be using later while cooking. Then freshly ground black pepper, just 2 heaped tablespoons of plain unflavored yogurt, 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, about half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, about a tablespoon of oil. I am using mustard oil, but you can use any oil of your choice, and a teaspoon of salt. Then about 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice to get rid of any unpleasant odors from the chicken. If you do not have fresh lemons on hand, you can also use 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Now mix everything very well and leave it for about an hour. Heat a wok over medium heat. Please do not use a frying pan for this recipe. Use something that has raised sides because we won't be adding much water. So if you use something that is not that heavy, then things may catch at the bottom and burn. If you are using mustard oil, then allow the oil to smoke on high heat, then lower the heat to low, let the oil cool down a little bit and then add the whole spices. Here we have a dry bay leaf, few green cardamoms which I always whack a little bit to open the tips, a cinnamon stick and a dry red chili. Drop the whole spices in hot oil. But my friends, remember to bring down the heat of your stove to low whenever you add whole spices to hot oil, or else they may burn and turn bitter. Red onions go in along with a sprinkle of salt. Stir the onions frequently on medium heat until they soften down. Side by side, I will also blend 2 large tomatoes to a fine paste. Coming back to the onions, you do not want the onions to brown up too much. When they soften down and look somewhat like this, add the ginger, garlic, green chili paste. Stir for a few minutes on medium heat to get rid of the raw smell of ginger and garlic. Then it is spice time! A teaspoon of turmeric powder, the sunshine of Indian cuisine. 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri red chili powder. Please adjust the proportion of chili powder according to your preference, because though Kashmiri chili powder is milder in terms of heat level, but it can still be very overwhelming for some. 2 heaped teaspoons of coriander powder, or dhone guro as we call in Bengali, and a teaspoon of ground cumin, also known as jeera guro in Bengali. Stir the spices on low heat for about a minute and then add the blended tomatoes. If you are making this when tomatoes are not in season, then you can also use half a cup of canned crushed tomatoes. Now what you need to do is stir from time to time on medium-low heat till the tomatoes look pasty and dry. I added about a teaspoon of sugar, not to make the dish sweet, but to bring in a balance to the flavors. And again, sugar is totally optional. And then I also added a teaspoon of salt. Please keep in mind that we also added salt to the chicken. Soon you will see the oil releasing and bubbling around the sides, and then you know it's time to add the chicken. Do not forget to add all that marinade from the bowl. I added just a little bit of water to the bowl to rinse out all that bowl goodness. Give a stir so that everything gets well mixed. Now all you have to do is lower the heat to low, put a cover on, and frequently come back to the chicken and give a stir. First you will see a dry kind of appearance, but soon you will be seeing the chicken releasing water and it will get cooked in its own juices. This is how the dish is made. Cover on low heat, come back frequently, cover off, stir, and cover again. One of my viewers asked me that how come you differentiate one dish from the other, or how come Indian cuisine has so many names of dishes, because the same ingredients go into practically all of them. A very good question, I must say. And it's true that the same turmeric, that good old chili powder, ground cumin or coriander, and garam masala powder are used in most of the recipes. But actually, it is the way or method a particular dish is made that makes one different from the other. You will observe each one has its own unique method of preparation, and that brings in a difference at the end. Okay, back to chicken kosha. You must be observing how the chicken is releasing water. Since I can see a lot of liquid, I just partially covered the pan because chicken kosha doesn't have much gravy. And every time you open the lid, give a stir working from the bottom of the pan upwards to make sure nothing settles at the bottom and burns. Because nobody would like to eat something that has a burnt aftertaste. And we are not making burnt flavored chicken kosha today. Okay, this recipe needs a little bit of elbow work, but at the end, the deliciousness of chicken kosha will make you forget those elbow workouts. When you see the oil starting to float on top, you will know the dish is coming to an end. The chicken has turned tender as well. The last ingredient to go in is garam masala powder. You can also add little bit of ghee at this time, but I didn't find it necessary today. And if you feel it to be too dry, then you can add just a splash of hot water. Because if you're like me who is always seeking for some bit of gravy, then you will like a little bit of gravy around the chicken. And to tell you the truth, it gets dried up more once it cools down. So if you're planning on serving this later, then please add just a splash of water at the end if things look too dry. At the end, you're the boss of your kitchen and you're the boss of chicken kosha. After adding garam masala powder, keep it covered just for a minute and you are done. This goes best with Basanti Pulao, that is Bengali style yellow pulao, or it also tastes great with poori or paratha and also naan. Please check out the recipe for Basanti Pulao that is coming up next, and I will see you there. Bye bye.